really came out. Wait, what? Oh, I need help.
Patiently waiting for the day to come where they fuck us for the rest of our lives. I told you all once, I told you all twice that this is the start of our demise. Try to twist you up inside, and they always
What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Hope you guys are doing good. So the title of the video, not misleading at all. Do I think we're going to dump to 16K? Absolutely not. But a big pullback is coming. Today's stream is more to help all you people not fall into this FOMO trap. This, you have a lot of traders over the last week, and I'm not gonna name names, like I have in the past. I don't really care for drama and bullshit anymore. All I'm here is to make money, just like you. So we're gonna talk about that. But first things first. What's up, Jack? How's it going? What's up, Dan? Thoughts on macro events of this? I don't even know what that is. The U.S. debt ceiling event to come. I don't think that debt ceiling has anything to do with anything. And yeah, we'll go over some macro stuff for sure. Nice to see you remember to drink water. Oh, I've always got my water, Steve. Big cup of water. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I actually started a new diet, and I just added that as a reminder. Always remember to drink water. That's weird. Phones are always listening. Anyways, started this diet, and for those of you that maybe you want to lose weight, maybe you're overweight, maybe you're kind of like me, where you could lose 10 pounds and just be like ripped, whatever you want to do. Look up the bone broth diet. It's pretty nuts. It's definitely not an easy diet by any means, but the results come very fast. Over 10 days, I lost almost 13 pounds. I have quote unquote like no flex abs. I look a lot leaner. I feel like a lot more energetic. I cut a lot of the crappy food out of my diet, and it shrunk my stomach. So now, eating things that you're really supposed to eat. Now, I was never like an overweight or unfit person, but if I keep eating the way I do the rest of my life, it will definitely catch up to me at some point. My FBI agent's really active, probably. Just show genuine. Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks, Nero. I appreciate it. But okay, so we're actually gonna start in reverse today. And before we cover SPX, I'm actually gonna go over this tweet. So I tweeted this last night, just so people would see it. So as I stated earlier, expecting a small pullback to the 200 DMA, which is about 19 to 19.5, forming bear divergences on MACD RSI, as well as bearish price action or bullish price action exhaustion. We're gonna go over what those things are today. We're literally watching the dump happen live. It is closing out the day, and I am expecting quite a pullback. Guys, we are the most oversold we've been in years, right? And people are ecstatic. People are expecting the market bottom to be in. And I hate to break this to you, but you won't know the bottom is in until we're well over all-time highs. There is never a scenario where you can just claim the bottom is in. And if you follow any accounts that are claiming that the bottom is in, they're just doing it for engagement. They're just trying to get follows, engagement, whatever, for whatever they are talking about. But last night I posted this, just going to kind of cover this. So this is the 4-hour chart. We know our daily is the most overbought it's been in years, right? And maybe that has to do with such a significant rally. We haven't rallied like this at all over the last year. This is something that I've been talking about for the last several weeks. And for those of you that are confused, yes, I was short to medium-term bullish. We caught a majority of this move. Did I catch it all? No. I sold half at about 17.5, 17.6, and then the rest at 18.4. I did not believe that we would break out the way we did just because DXY was at support, SPX was at resistance, Bitcoin was at resistance, ended up breaking out. Missed out on a little bit, but not too mad. Ended up making about $10,000 to $11,000 on the trade entirely. So for your own clarification, I am still very macro bearish. Now I am leaning macro bullish if the SPX continues to break out because the DXY has lost its major support. We will go over that soon as well. Oh, hello. We have visitors. You going?
Yeah.
Nice workout. Continuing on. So I posted this. The reason why we're looking at the 4-hour, the daily has really no signs of pulling back. So that means the daily will most likely continue upwards. However, it's majorly overbought. So what do we do to look at for some sort of a pullback? Well, hour 4. looking at hour 4, initially with this move, we actually had bullish divergences the whole way up, bullish MACD, bullish momentum, bullish price action. You can clearly see volume going up. And just to pull up the actual chart, just so we can make some drawing, I'm actually going to start with a clean chart. Remove all this mess. Just so we have a really clean chart. So initially, and the volume's going to seem a little sketchy because this isn't Binance, but Binance volume was going up, price going up. This is very, very bullish, very bullish, very, very bullish. Well, now we peak here. RSI peaks here, MACD peaks here. Now we are continuing to make higher highs with lower volume, lower MACD, and lower highs on RSI. What does this mean? So this tells us that there is bearish divergence. This is known as exhaustion. So this whole block here is exhaustion. Now this means two things. So one, you could have consolidation. So you'll either consolidate, which means that you will head sideways. You guys know what consolidation means. You'll head sideways. Price will go essentially like this for a very, very long time, and then we'll continue that trend upwards. And what that does is, and what consolidation does, is it allows RSI to reset. Maybe MACD comes down, crosses back over, and then we head back up. The other, which I think is more likely because we are so overbought, because there are so many longs within this box up here. And guys, I'm not the greatest at determining this, but just from my own observation and what I've seen on Twitter, there were several analysts that some of you guys even associate myself with, and they were bearish on this whole entire move upwards, right? They were not long at all. They were saying it was a bull trap. They were saying that none of this was bullish. Guys, all the answers are here. I mean, this is all bullish, right? This is bullish, bullish, bullish. Anyways, so our second is big pullback. Big pullback. And we have to determine from there, where are the areas of support that we would pull back to. And just to pull up this chart, because this has all my support and resistances. And again, guys, multiple traders, multiple big traders, like 20, 30, 40,000 follower traders. I'm guessing not Eggers is longing because he always longs the top. Longing into this resistance. This is a major resistance here. We rejected here. We had a rejection here, some support here, rejection here, rejection here. I mean, this is major resistance, right? Now you have all these people longing into it. That's just flat out stupid. So where would we pull back? Well, one, we obviously have our 18K support anywhere between 18, really 17.8, 18.4. And then where's our other point of interest? Well, for a lot of people, they've been looking at moving averages. And I'm not a big moving average person. I'm really not. I don't believe they have as much validity as people give credit for. And part of that is because these horizontal support and resistances have such a bigger play, right? Like if you use the 50 in this example as a resistance, well, we actually went, what is this, 21.9 all the way to 22.3. That's a 2 to 3% increase from that moving average. So that was not resistance. We even went higher to almost 23K. So almost $1,000 higher off that moving average, which never acted as resistance. Regardless, 200 point of contact, maybe slightly below the 200. What would make sense to me, and gonna quote Trader SZ. I never really quote anybody on my live stream. I saw his analysis today, and yeah, I kind of agree with him. We're going to do something like this, shoot down, retest 18, and V back upwards. Part of that reason is now we need to form some kind of divergence on the daily between MACD and RSI for this to really reverse. We do not have any sort of bearish indications on the daily at all. The daily is extremely bullish. So I'm looking for a large pullback. I am not necessarily following the consolidation, only because the daily is very, very overbought. If the daily was slightly overbought, maybe consolidation, maybe some consolidation, but overall, it doesn't make sense to have not have some kind of large pullback. I mean, guys, like you zoom out here, we are at the highest point we've ever seen, almost ever seen in Bitcoin's history for being overbought. All of those times were followed by, and I'm not going to be like, oh, they were followed by huge drops all the way. No. Not all of them were. Some of them actually continued, and we continued an uptrend. But all of them were followed by something, and it was a very large pullback, usually 5 to 10, up downwards of 20%. Now, granted, we only moved about 20% from the 16.5K low. If we do a total, oh, we actually moved up higher. We moved 30%. Excuse me. Moved up 33%. So would a 20% drop make sense? Absolutely not. Would a 10% drop, however, make sense? And I think that would make sense. 10, maybe 15. Anywhere between the 19.5 to 18.4, 17.8 is where I'm looking. Obviously that depends on a couple factors. One being what's going to happen to the SPX. When we get into some of those macro charts, we will discuss what happens to price action on the 4-hour. I would like to see, again, this would be my perfect scenario. Let's say we get to the 200 moving average, which is right here, this box. I would like to see big red selling volume candle followed by smaller like this. And we drop significantly, maybe do something like that and continue higher. This is where I'd long. I'd long right there. That's what I would do. However, that might not be an option. We might just drop all the way down, maybe consolidate and then head back up. You never know. We won't know until we get there. Looks like we got a lot of people today. That's awesome. For a lot of you, I'll read some of that in a minute. For a lot of you that don't know, I live stream on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays around 5 p.m. Eastern. I also have a trading class up on Patreon. It's there's a whole syllabus posted, so you can see the syllabus before you join. Lots of testimonials. You can ask a lot of my students if they've learned anything, if it's worth it. And then on top of that, I also offer a very, very inexpensive private analysis for any of my Patreons, except for the $10 amount. The $10 amount's just for people that want to give back and don't really care for all the other stuff. So let me read some of this chat. My apologies. You were talking about Capo, and I agree. I even saw your tweet to him when we started pumping, and he was still being super bearish. You were spot on with the pump. Yeah, I mean, this pump was very easy to see. For those of you that don't know and maybe don't know a lot about TA, this was not a manipulative pump. This was one of the easiest moves to catch. Now, granted, I did not believe that we would go all the way to 22K. I will be the first to admit that. I sold at resistance right here at 18.4. However, guys, double bottom. Cleared the double bottom. Volume rising the entire time. MACD crossing bullish. I mean, you even have bullish divergences on RSI here. I mean, there were all the signs in my trading system to take a long, especially at 16.5. You go to the 1-hour chart. I'm not a big 1-hour person. Anyone that knows me will tell you I'm not a 1-hour person. But one of the cleanest inverted head and shoulders ever on that second bottom, on your right side bottom on the daily. You had no excuses not to take longs. This was not manipulation. This was not some... also on the weekly, we have bullish divergences. I mean, all of the signs and signals were there. I don't understand why people were shorting or willing to short assets that were down 80-odd%. Because essentially, and we've talked about this before on live stream, you're essentially doing the same thing that you did during the bull market, right? You're longing assets that are up 20x, 50x, 100x. You should be looking to short or take profits. You shouldn't be looking to enter longs. That's just pure stupidity. Pure ignorance, too. Let's see. Thoughts on macro event? Oh, okay, I already read that. Who's the GOAT, Ronaldo or Messi? Man, I don't watch soccer. Can you unban me on Twitter? Okay, so for those of you that are banned on Twitter, you are banned on Twitter because you are an asshole, right? Like, I post free data, free analysis that's generally correct. There have been times where I've been wrong. I'll admit that. But if you're going to be an asshole under what I'm providing to you for free, I'm not going to unban you. Like, you can plead your case to me in Discord and you can apologize and maybe I'll think about it. But the reason you are banned is because you are an asshole, right? I don't have time to deal with that, and that is not something that I even want to put my energy into. Oh yeah, I meant overbought. My apologies. Sorry, I'm going through all these comments because I missed a bunch of them. The SPX has been in an uptrend. We're going to go over that here in a second. Don't spend a single more penny on other course or class that's 10 times more expensive. Oh, are you talking about mine? Yeah, no, mine, and for those of you who don't know, like, my course is generally pretty underpriced. For those of you that don't know, like, I make my money trading. I make my money trading. Like, the whole Patreon thing is literally so, you know, I can give back to the community and teach people how to trade correctly, teach them risk management, teach them investment strategies, et cetera, in a way that is cost efficient, because I have to charge you. Like, I have to. Like, there's no motivation for me to care and to pay attention in Discord chat and to give advice and you know, read some, you know, long messages and answer questions if I'm not somehow compensated. So that entire form of me, and I get backlash when they're like, why are you charging if you make so much money trading? Well, for me, it's a whole motivation thing. Money motivates me. And I frankly, I believe my resources are really, really cheap for what they can bring you. I've had trading students that have made $500,000. I've had trading students last week that made $10,000-$12,000. So, and you can ask them. They're in my Discord. They've got a tag. You can literally go in the Discord and say, and ask for their opinion on if it's worth it. I've had students take the class twice, right? I mean, there is definitely value there, and I know I'm the one that created it and I'm the one advertising it, but I've only gotten positive feedback. I've had one person of 400 people that I've taught over the last year that has complained about it, and they complained because they got burned on a trade that was entirely their fault. They got burned on Luna. Do I use Eurowaves? No, I don't use Eurowaves. Honestly, I believe Eurowaves are completely useless, in my opinion. Okay, so let's go over some macro stuff, starting with the S&P 500. Again, for those of you that are new, generally I start with the S&P and go down the chart. We don't cover everything here, but generally SPX, VIX, DXY total, Tether dominance, Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, and then we just kind of talk for a little bit on some other stuff. So starting with SPX, a big week last week. Technically, we closed above our downtrend. We have a massive year-long downtrend. Just in case, I'm going to try and make it as precise as I can. Again, I still think we're over it. I mean, we're touching diagonal lines are tough because, you know, you could be like, oh, well, honestly, this is me honestly speaking, we need to really get over this. We need to get over this area, the 40,084 area. It's acted as resistance. It's acted as some support, resistance. You get over that, now we're significantly over that's downtrend line. Now we're significantly, you know, we're making a new local high. So even if we do something like that, that would be a very, very bullish scenario, right? So just because we broke over this diagonal, and yes, I do believe it's a breakout. The way I have it drawn, it's a breakout. The way that crypto broke out, the DXY broke down, yes, I believe that it has broken out. Now, could we see a fake out? Absolutely. We've seen it twice before. But for now, there is a big case on, you know, somewhat of a market structure change. You guys have to remember, there is so much money sitting on the sidelines post-COVID, and really the only people that were hurt from COVID, and I hate to say this, but they're poor people. They're people that don't know how to adjust their money. They're people that were in businesses that weren't going to succeed from the start, and or they were struggling to begin with, right? And I know a lot of people struggled, and I feel bad for you. I'm just telling it as it is. There were people that made millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and they took it out and put it in bonds, or they sold their real estate portfolio they've been sitting on for a while. I'll give you an example. I have friends that bought real estate, and they're a bit older. They bought real estate, started buying real estate 20 years ago, and built up a portfolio. They sold it all last year, every bit of it, sold it all. Put their money in bonds, so that, you know, waiting for the housing market to come back down so they could start rebuying. There are people with lots and lots of money. There are people that are really, really interested in tech and in crypto because they've dropped so significantly. You have to remember, the older the person is, generally the more experience they have with, you know, events like this. Generally, they've lived through a recession or two, or they've seen what happens when assets drop significantly, and they know when to buy. right? They don't have to do TA. They don't have to do all this fancy shit. They know when to buy. Now, do I believe we're still in a recession? Yes, I still believe that we are in a recession. But I also believe that our economy is very, very diverse. There's money on the sidelines, and there is a good chance that we could see some kind of quote-unquote melt-up scenario, or maybe this was just a pullback to continue higher, and we were never out of a bull market. And I don't want to put crazy thoughts in people's heads. I try to keep it as genuine and really as normal and not so hyped up. Now, granted, with crypto, you need more consolidation than this. This is not. I mean, even if we did bottom, you still have to move sideways in between a range for longer for a huge move up, right? Like that, we've seen that in the past, even during the SPX bull markets. Like crypto still moves sideways for a significant period of time before heading upwards. But there is a good chance that maybe this recession was just for over-leveraged, overhyped, overbought assets like crypto, like tech stocks, like any volatile over-leveraged company. You're looking at and people put a lot of emphasis on crypto, right? Like crypto's dropped 80, 90%. Well, what about all these stocks that dropped 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 99%? And these are notable companies. And you look at like Netflix, you look at Apple, Tesla. Some of these companies have dropped significantly, and they're huge. Some of the biggest companies in the world. Do I believe the long-term temper Bitcoin could potentially hit 100K? So, yes, I do. Yeah, I'm very bullish on crypto long-term. People need more trust in the bottom for crypto because it couldn't go to zero. I mean, anything can go to zero. You're the GOAT, man. Not a trader, but DCA since FTX up big time. Happy to hear it. They're crazy if you think you would give valuable information like that for free anyways. Yeah, but they're just granted, a lot of those people just troll, and they probably got burned trading, and they just don't know what the hell they're talking about. They were overvalued, though, but yeah, too much money in the system, so number... Yeah, but you also have to remember that, yes, they were overvalued, but when they lose 90% of that value, that's a lot, right? I mean, that's a lot. That's a big drop. But for now, I mean, really, guys, until we break, 4,100, 4085, don't get too excited yet. Part in that fact is the DXY, right? The DXY really needs to lose 101. You lose 101, and now we're talking. Now we're talking about a significant downtrend, and now we will see hyperinflation if that happens. But a couple things on the daily. You actually do have some bullish divergence here. You have constant lower lows and higher lows on RSI. Same thing with the 4 hour, same thing with MACD. You have bullish divergences there. You have a higher low here, but we have lower lows here with higher, consistently making lower lows on price. So now you're looking at bullish divergences on the DXY. If the DXY pumps, you're going to see XPX dump, you're going to see crypto dump. So what does this mean? And this is how we formulate our opinions daily. This is how I formulate what's going to happen overall in the market. So if the DXY has bullish divergences and crypto has bearish divergences, they're more than likely going to play out, right? There is confluence between both sets of assets. They both basically inverse each other. When the DXY goes up, crypto goes down. When the DXY goes down, crypto goes up. Let's move into total. Macro structure breakout. This is pretty huge. Again, very, very overbought on the daily. I mean, this is the most overbought we've been in a very, very long time. Really since 2021, I'd say 2021, January 2021. So about almost 2 years. Pretty crazy. But yes, macro structure break. We talked about this scenario, and for those of you that don't believe, you can check the old YouTube videos. I did say there's a good chance that this would be a descending wedge. We did have a double bottom. We did have bullish divergences everywhere, even on the weekly, and we did break out. So what's next? So I would anticipate that we come back down, retest, and continue higher. This retest, and again, if we're looking at this similar to Bitcoin, similar with everything else, that retest allows the DXY to pump a bit higher. And again, looking at the DXY, we could definitely come back up, retest, and go back down. This retest, again, allows Bitcoin to drop a bit, healthy pullback, and to continue going up. Same thing with the rest of crypto. So realistically, and just to draw another daily support line in here, give me one moment. Just to draw like another support line. I mean, you're looking at 858 billion, 858 billion. I'm going to get rid of this line. That's irrelevant. So yeah, I would look for a pullback right here, continue up. I mean, that's a double bottom, breakout, retest, continuation. That is completely normal, completely bullish. And this is why I keep saying the daily is extremely bullish. The 4 hour is not bullish right now. But the 4 hour pullback would assist the daily to continue going higher. Also, if the daily does continue to go higher, maybe we start getting these bearish divergences. Let's say we get something like this, right? Now you have bearish divergences forming on the third divergence. Maybe we have a bigger pullback back down, and now we have that sideways consolidation that we'll see over the next year before that next bull market starts. With that said, a lot of you, I hope, and I tweeted this 6-7 months ago, I hope you are dollar cost averaging. I really hope. Because this asset's down 80%, and there's a good chance that maybe it did bottom. What do I think about trading fair value caps, order blocks? I don't do any of that. I trade mostly price action. Do I believe SPY and Bitcoin are correlated? The only reason they're really correlated right now is because crypto has been following equities because we've been in this kind of recessive narrative. Otherwise, I would disagree on complete correlation. Do I believe that crypto will drop back to lows? It feels like those left in crypto are here for the long term. I have no idea. Asking that kind of question, just I don't have an answer for that. I have no idea what's going to happen 6-12 months from now. I mean, best case scenario for people that are in longs right now and long the top of this move is we just do this. I don't believe that happens. Now, Crypto Savvy thinks we do this. You know, there are people that, like me, that believe we'll just move sideways for a little while. You can accumulate during this, and then we go up, which has been really the case for the last 13 years, 14 years, right? So, you know, I can't really give you a well-defined answer on whether I think the lows will be retested again. I have no idea. And frankly, I've been saying it for a very, very long time. It is time to start accumulating. It is time to start buying, whether it be 1% of your whatever you allocated to dollar cost average. So let's say I allocate $100,000 to DCA. So I would plan my DCA over 2 years, especially being near this point where we've dropped 80%, right? And I would just do 1% a week over 2 years. If I get all of it in at the quote-unquote bottom, great. If some of it's higher and some of it's lower, whatever, you're trying to average a price. You're not trying to buy the bottom. People that try and buy bottoms and call bottoms don't even know how to trade. Just ignore them. I don't really care for alts. All of you guys asking for alts. I don't trade alts unless we're like peak bull market. Bitcoin's exhausted and that money flows to alts. You're seriously wasting your time if you're trading alts right now. I'm telling you. But let's continue on. Tether dominance. So this is huge. Tether dominance. Retesting a support. I'll keep it for now. Tether dominance, retesting support. So this is something that's not good for crypto. Initially, I thought this would happen. We get a retest and continue into this support zone, into this diagonal before, maybe continuing to go lower, higher, whatever. Looks like we're in support. So again, a big reason why I keep saying don't take longs right now on Bitcoin. This is in support. When this pumps, so Tether dominance pumps, Bitcoin goes down, right? I would expect this to bounce. Even if we do go below it, I expect it to bounce. You're massively oversold. Again, another indication that tells us that Bitcoin should have some sort of retest. But price action-wise, this is very, very bearish. You have volume increasing as price is dropping. Overall, the daily looks very, very bearish. And I would expect this to continue going lower, as I expect Bitcoin to maybe go to 25K, maybe from 19.5, maybe from 18. Shit, if we can snag longs from 18, I'll hold that all the way to 25. Sounds good to me. So Bitcoin daily. Last but not least, really, maybe a couple more things. But Bitcoin daily. So we already talked about this. We're the most overbought in the last 3 years. One of the highest overbought periods in Bitcoin's entire life, right? And for a lot of people, and we will roast Capo, because Capo, guys, for those of you who don't know, Capo was, so Capo's bullish here. Capo bull. And Capo bear. Do you know why he does it? More than likely for engagement. Capo didn't stop being bullish until here. Right? Roman, me, I was bearish through all this. I believe this should have happened. I do not believe this should have happened. This was mostly FTX driven. It didn't make any sense. But regardless, I knew we weren't going to break previous all-time high. And for those who are like, what, well, we broke it by 5%. Like, congratulations. You broke it by 5%. Most of you bought the top and got completely fucked. So don't even give me that. But my whole point is, for those of you that are ripping Capo, please do. And please do it to the rest of the influencers that are looking for engagement, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of people, and I hate to say go rip into them, but these people literally farm engagement. They're screwing people over for farming engagement. Now, granted, those people place trades on their own, but when they're inexperienced, they're looking for guidance in some way, shape, or form. It is somewhat Capo's fault, just like the moon, right? The moon, Carl the Moon, just like Crypto, just like BitBoy. All these people are just looking for engagement because they're trying to get people to buy their altcoins, or get, shilling them referral links or all this. And, yes, I am linked with an exchange, but I picked, and I had 20 exchanges, right, come to me. And yes, I'm partnered with an exchange. Yes, I am actually, and I do have some news that I will share in a moment. Why did I partner with them? Because they're the best crypto exchange that I've ever used. Because Binance US completely screwed me. Right, Binance US went from 68,000 to 8,000 in a matter of a 2-second time period, and it stopped out my longs, which were $30,000 in profit. Right, now I did end up not losing any money off of it, but I was up a significant amount of money, and a quote unquote exchange glitch just completely screwed me. Like, what does he want engagement for? He's not selling any product. You don't know that. Maybe he's got other crypto accounts that he promotes or inadvertently promotes that have links, and people sign up that way. You have no idea. Yeah. I know what he said. It's a lot of them say it. A lot of really the last week or two really proved to me who the hell knows how to trade and who doesn't. And I have shrunk my respect given to analysts to 3 people. One of them's Shinigami. It's Shinigami. That guy, he's good. I've always known him. He's really good. I won't give out the other 2 names. Yet at least. But Bitcoin daily. So for those of you that missed the first part of the stream, the signs were all there. Double bottom. Ultimately a breakout, no retest, and we even have we have not retested any support yet. So honestly, would love to see some kind of retest. This retest would allow the DXY bullish divergences to play out. It would allow the Tether dominance to have some sort of support bounce. I'm sure that has divergences as well if Bitcoin 4-hour has divergences. On top of that, there were huge divergences on the weekly chart all over it. Price action's very, very bullish. There was a lot of spot buying. It seems that the market's returning back to normal trading conditions now that FTX is out of the market. I need to stay off Twitter. Yeah, so what I do is I don't give validity to really anybody on Twitter. I just follow my own system. Because you have to remember, even if that person's right, They don't follow your trading system. They don't know where to take profits like where you do. They don't know where to enter where you do. They don't see the exhaustion like you do. Everything that you do is not what they do. So you need to follow your own trading system. Can I share my exchange? So my exchange, it's called BitGet. It is either in the chat or it's in the description below. If you're from the US or a couple other countries, you have to use a VPN. The reason for that being is, just so you guys know, the SEC is cracking down on a lot of crypto exchanges right now. However, BitGet is working through getting their whatever you have to do, their regulation. So I always forget the word. They're getting regulated with the SEC so that they can be a US based or at least have some sort of US entity as a crypto exchange. I'm sure they'll do something similar to like a Binance US, where they'll have like a bitget.us or something like that. And essentially, that exposes them to the US customer base. This guy talks mince. I don't know what that means. You can also get paid for engagement on Twitter. Yeah, you absolutely can. Absolutely can. So anyways, moving to the 4 hour. We explained this earlier in the stream. I will explain it again for all the newcomers. Again, thanks for watching the stream today. It's been a bigger stream. It's nice to see the engagement coming back. For a while, it was lower. I'd say we were getting between 50 and 100. We've gotten up to 250 today. It's been awesome. But here we go. So first things first, we have exhaustive price action. We're creating higher highs with lower volume. We have our MACD going lower, not a huge signal, but something I can point out. And we also are now forming divergences on RSI with higher highs. Again, I gave the two options. We can either consolidate for a while or have a sharp pullback for continuation. I'm siding with the pullback for continuation because the DXY is showing bullish divergences. The Tether dominance is right at support. And ultimately, Bitcoin is massively overbought on the daily. So all in all, I am expecting a sharp pullback. That pullback will most likely be short-lived, and you should be prepared to buy it if your indicators are showing that it is a pullback and not something worse. And always make sure you have good risk management on that. You've been saying that Bitcoin will dump for a while. No, I haven't. I literally said we were going to pump after 16.5K, and that I was long. I'm saying, so the title is saying dump because I believe we could drop from here about 15%, which to a lot of people is called a dump, right? A 15% drop, 15% dump. That's why it is a little clickbaity, but it's there. Right? I provided all the reasons in my explanation. I am definitely leaning bullish because of the daily. The daily is extremely bullish right now, in my opinion. All right, guys. I need to go shower and eat. I'm hungry. Just got back from the gym, and I'm ready to move on with the rest of my day. For all of you that don't know, and maybe you're new, I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday around 5 p.m. Eastern. We have a free Discord. You're more than welcome to join. And I also have a Patreon where you can see private analysis and take trading classes. If you're interested, check out the links down below. Would appreciate a subscribe too. It goes a long way. I try and put my best and honest foot forward for you guys, trying to help everyone in this space. I was burned once too, many years ago, and I just like to help where I can. With all that said,